made it. Did I make it? Bam, we're like, oh man, 1 minute late. Damn it. Did I make it? Who knows? Who was looking at the clock? Did I make it? It was close. It was close. Good morning. Discipline, passion, habits. Thank you. No goals, no dreams, just discipline, passion, and commitment. I'm going through some stuff. I'm going through some stuff. Oh, Haley. Damn it. Oh, well. I guess I'll wear these. Could you close that door just a little bit? The breeze is a little too much. Just just leave it ajar. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. Good morning. Hey, Sevi. Heavy Sevi. Heavy Sevi. Hey, Sevi. Heavy Sevi. Zach, what's up, dude? Morning. Finally able to catch you live. Sweet. Good to see you, dude. Brady, what's up? Top of O morning. Top of O the morning. Good to see you. Olivia, hi. Live in the context. In the context? Kill Taylor will be Friday this week. Taylor will be in Europe. In Europe. I sent an exerciser out to a listener. So we'll be getting a review. I don't know, soon. Maybe it takes like a month. And then Fit Aid 40% off. CA peptides. You know the video Hiller made on all things peptides? It's crazy. It just it wasn't, when he released it, it wasn't one of his big videos. I think it got like 14,000 views right off the bat, but because of the topic, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. He says it's going to break the all-time top 25 here soon of all his videos, which I'm pretty stoked. So if you haven't seen that video and you're interested in peptides, make sure you look that up. It's like a all things peptides video he made. So my kids basically just they're done with school usually by, I don't know, the latest, let's say 10 a.m. every single day at the latest, right? Like they're going to jump up here in the next 20 minutes and they'll go straight from their bed to their backpacks to the table, and they just start doing their work. And my wife's there with them. She's already up and getting all the stuff ready, and it's heavily focused on the morning sessions, heavily focused on reading, writing, and arithmetic. And then the rest of their day is just tons and tons of training. And sometimes their training involves like they'll take a class called, like they took this class called the Waterman's course. They took it, it's a 1 week class, and they took it 3 times in a row. And it's basically like a surf class, but it's also, they teach you about you're out there and they teach you about the tides and the kelp beds and the animals out there and just all that shit, all things that you need to know to be a good surfer. And then they play a lot of tennis. They play tennis, at least half the week, every other day or more. And then the same with fighting. They fight jiu-jitsu and other martial arts 1, 2, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. And then they skateboard, and then they do piano. They do piano. They do some piano every single day. And it just goes on and on. They have these things that they do that are just part of their life, just like that's all they know. They're just in this continuous loop and cycle. Anyway, so my kids went to jiu-jitsu tournament this weekend, and one of my kids, I think I was telling you guys yesterday, he had gone to jiu-jitsu tournaments. I paid $1,500 for him to go to jiu-jitsu tournaments, and he didn't compete in any of them. Maybe like one in the last like 4 years, maybe 2. Daniel Wynn, I'm the founder and president of the Amateurish Fitness Wannabe Athletic Association, and I demand that CrossFit HQ hire Hiller as director of media. I'm the founder and president of the I'm the founder and president of the Amateurish Fitness. I don't think you need wannabe in there. I think Amateurish Fitness Athlete Association would be enough. Amateurish Fitness Wannabe Athletes Association. and I demand that HQ hire Hiller as director of media. So you're demanding hirings instead of firings? Hmm. And so just imagine this kid Joseph of mine, he just trains and trains and trains. And the people he trained, and he's trained at a bunch of different jiu-jitsu gyms. He trained at Gracie, trained at the Art of Jiu-Jitsu in, I think, Costa Mesa or Newport Beach, California. He's trained at a couple gyms in Phoenix, but primarily he trains with Nico and McKenna at I don't even know the name of the gym that we go to 5 days a week. And the instructors come to the house, and we have a whole jujitsu room, and the boys are just they just they train. Anyway, so and they're starting their first. There's an affiliate here in town. They're starting their first CrossFit class with this other family that they do jujitsu with. We do jujitsu with. They're starting their CrossFit class next week, so that's going to be cool, right? Anyway, so there's this it's not pressure, but the kids around them and the instructors around them are wanting my kids to go to the next level. So the tennis coach would like to see is like suggesting that if they don't, if Avi, who's 9, soon doesn't up his training and his commitment and his intensity and his personal interest in the sport, that maybe this door will close where he won't be able to play professional or college tennis. And so he's suggesting that Avi's reaching this age where he's going to have to make a choice. Is he going to take it serious to try to get a scholarship to college, or is he going to just do it recreationally? And I hear the coach, and I trust the coach, and I like the coach, but I'm not buying it. And the jiu-jitsu instructors, by the way, the coaches, all these coaches are wonderful. I love them. And I've said for years that I love these coaches because I feel like I'm in a competition with them to see who wants more for my kids, and I always want to be losing. And I realize that I am really losing right now. And the jiu-jitsu instructors, some of the kids in the program have started going to national competitions. So they've gone out to Florida and competed in the, I think the Pan Americans or something like that, and they went to Las Vegas to compete in the World Championships, and they're heading to Las Vegas again, and then they're heading to Sacramento, and they're just right. They're cruising. The kids are going to the next level in these sports, and there's an encouragement for my kids to participate in that, or to go to the next level. And one of the things that's been a critique of my son Avi is that he doesn't bring the intensity. He doesn't bring it in jiu-jitsu and fighting. He lets other kids dictate the matches, and in tennis, he's just not bringing the intensity. And I don't think you can teach that. I don't think you can. I don't think you can teach intensity. I didn't learn intensity until I was in my 20s, and I learned it through frisbee. And I played a lot of frisbee. And how I learned it was something clicked one day that, like, anytime anyone throws the frisbee, I should be able to catch it absolutely no matter what. It didn't matter. So I would be standing, uh, well, I give you the most extreme example is one time I was playing in a parking lot at night under parking lights, and it was raining, and a buddy of mine threw a frisbee, and it probably went 50 yards, like just a complete winger. And I chased it down, and I dove for it, and I landed on a parking stump. You know those concrete parking stumps? And I dove, and I landed on it, and it broke my ribs. And I knew those parking stumps were out there, but my intensity and my focus was that by any means necessary, it had to be caught. Like I could just go there to that place with frisbee. My intensity was that anything could be caught, anything. And I had a bunch of bad accidents, running into cars, jumping on hoods, diving into rose bushes. But the worst was I broke my ribs. I landed on a parking stump. That was bad. That really hurt. So, um, but no one taught me that. Uh, oh, here, let me see. MS, my son races dirt bikes. He has that intensity, and every coach comments about it. That said, not all kids have it. Yeah, my kids, one of my kids has it in jujitsu. Maybe both twins have it in jujitsu. It's basically win by any means necessary. I mean, my kid popped a girl's arm who wouldn't tap the other day. I mean, that takes some fucking balls. And I'll give you, this is a slight digression, but I'll give you my kids were very sore yesterday, the two that dominated the jiu-jitsu tournament, and they can't really figure out why. And we all know why as adults, right? Because even with 3 hours of training a day, 5 days a week, and shitloads of sparring matches, there's nothing like competition, right? So every muscle in their body sore, their necks, their shoulders, their glutes, their calves. And but and then yesterday my kid went to Walnut Creek, California. The other kid, Avi, went to Walnut Creek, California, and cleaned up at the tennis tournament. And he beat kids that he's not supposed to beat, right? These are full-time tennis players. These are, the Asian kids. And my kids aren't supposed to win the jiu-jitsu tournaments either, because a lot of them have fathers who are like real like men. They're not pussies like me. You know what I mean? They're already black belts. They own jiu-jitsu studios, all that. Um, but yesterday, uh, my son Avi, who was the lowest seeded player at the tournament, who beat the number 1 seed there, because they match up the lowest seed with the highest seed. And when he beat that kid had a fucking meltdown and started banging his racket on the side of the fence. And part of me is shocked, and then part of me is, like, not shocked at all that they did so well. Because what are you what did anyone think was gonna happen when Joseph, who's never done a tournament but trains fucking, 10 hours or 15 hours a week, has 3 brothers he's always fighting with, has 10 hours of just fucking fighting in the house, and my kids who are just constantly playing tennis and skateboarding and doing CrossFit in the home gym with me. I mean, the kids won't bat an eye if I'm like, "Okay, let's go to the garage and each do 100 pull-ups." I couldn't even do 1 pull-up at their age. What did anyone think was gonna happen? My kids are so fucking disciplined. They have so much commitment, and they have great habits. I learned this from Miranda Alcaraz, the, founder of Street Parking. I saw it on an old Instagram post of hers once. When before she was coming on the show, I was digging through her Instagram, and she had that thing. She, if you don't have goals or dreams, it's okay. If you have passion, habits, and discipline. And I don't think I'm going to pursue any of those. I don't think I'm going to pursue any of those avenues. I don't. I need to be able to consistently do all the tournaments that are local. And, maybe I'm just being lazy. Maybe I don't wanna get on a plane and go to Florida and watch my kids compete there. That just doesn't even sound fun to me. And maybe the tennis coach is right. Maybe if I don't ratchet up their tennis, they'll fall behind and the door will close on them getting the college scholarship or playing professional tennis. Maybe he's right. I have no interest in my kid being a professional skateboarder. That's some fucking crazy dangerous shit. And it causes a shitload of imbalance in your body. You ever seen old skateboarders, how they walk around? They move so weird. Rodney Mullen moves, it's so trippy. He moves like a bug. He doesn't even move like a human. Your kids are impressive as fuck. Thank you. Eric Weiss, what does committed look like? Committed is, let me look up the definition. Commitment. Commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity. Yeah. So my kids know, so I'll tell you, this is, I guess maybe this is discipline and commitment, but I'll be at Greg's house. I'll take the kids over to Greg's house when Greg's in town. We'll be over there from, whatever, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. playing with the kids. And then if my kids have a jujitsu class or a tennis class show up in the afternoon, I stop them from playing. I drive them over to it. They don't complain. They do the class, and then I bring them back and they keep playing. And that's just the way it is. Just they know what they have to do. They just have to do it. The same way you woke up every morning or I woke up every morning and I went to school every morning. I just went every morning. And what's cool about sports when you start kids young in them, the problem with school for me was school got too hard. I I got left behind in school. At some point, they started teaching something that I couldn't comprehend or I wasn't able to keep up with, and so I fell behind. But they kept moving me forward, right? I kept graduating first, second, third, fourth grade. Around the fourth or fifth grade, somewhere between the third grade and the fifth grade, I went from the smartest kid in my class to the dumbest kid in my class. It was really bizarre. There was something I couldn't comprehend. I don't even know what it is, and I fell behind. And then from there on, I became, like, really good at finding different ways to pass school rather than doing the work. I was still committed and disciplined and passionate. I loved going to school, but I lived under this constant stress because I had to find my own way through classes. Sweet talking teachers, doing extra credit, looking off of other kids' tests, shit like that. Jedediah Nelson, there's a fine line between burnout is real thing too if they don't have the natural passion to go and that hard. What's interesting is obviously, Avi brought the kid that so many people have told me doesn't have intensity. He obviously brought the intensity at game time. I mean, he beat the number 1 kid. He said the kid was so fucking intense. He said that he talked to the kid before the match, and the kid's like, "All I do is tennis, tennis, tennis." And his dad was his coach, and his dad was chirping. You're not supposed to chirp the kids while they're playing tennis. Tennis is a really quiet sport. It's the opposite of, like, so many other sports. The parents are not allowed to talk. No one's allowed to talk to the kids when they're playing. So even if, let's say, 2 kids are playing tennis, and there's no judges or referees, right? So the whole game is on the honor system. And that's how it works. So if someone hits a ball and you're not sure if it went in or out, it's always in. If you're not willing to bet your life that it was out, it's always in. And if the kids are, if a ball goes out and a kid called it in, the parents aren't allowed to. No one's allowed to say no. It definitely went out. But you still see parents do it all the time at every fucking tournament. Not that I've been to a lot of tournaments, maybe like 5. Parents will walk over with their iPhone and show the kids, hey, it was out or it was in. Or in tennis, you're all you I don't know what the pattern is, but there's a lot of switching from which sides you serve on. You're constantly switching, and kids will get it all fucked up and confused, right? And the parents aren't allowed to say anything, but they do. It's wild. It's like they have no, the tournament directors will gather everyone together before the tournament even starts, and they'll be like, "Hey, no one's allowed to talk to the kids during the game. You can say good job in between points, and you're allowed to clap." But I was so happy. The night before the tournament, we had another family over, and and even that family we played tennis with, and that family was like, "Yeah, you should, talk to Avi about turning up his intensity." I felt myself get really defensive. You're not, no, clapping is gay. No, you know what's gay is this, when they snap. That's ridiculous. Good morning, Eaton Beaver. Christine Young, I never talk to my kids, during the games. Yeah, me neither. I don't talk to him either. Jake Chapman, thank you. Never ever snap. Jason Plummer, all parents ruin a child's sports experience. Not this one. My my anyway, going back, so they were telling me that Avi needs to ratchet up his intensity. I'm like, no, he's fine. He's just going at his own pace. I walked the boys I went to my mom's house yesterday, and she lives by the beach. And so, I went over there, and I had the boys with me, and we walked down to the beach, and my mom and I were sitting in the sand, and the boys were playing in the water. And my mom asked, and I was telling my mom, I was like, "Man, it's crazy. I spent over $1,500 on jiu-jitsu tournaments in the last couple of years just for Joseph alone, and he didn't do it like any of them. Like I said, maybe one." And she's like, Why did you keep doing them?" I was like, "Because I just thought, hey, I wanted to just keep the door open." She's like, "Man, I would have stopped." And I said, "Yeah, I get it, but it was worth it." This tournament, he showed up. He was happy as fuck. His brother was happy. It was the first that tournament we went to on Saturday was the first tournament in, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, 15 tournaments where not one of my kids cried. I think Joseph cried in every tournament. Even like maybe the one or the two tournaments he did, he cried. I asked him, I said, "Hey, why did you do the tournament this time?" And he said, "Because I looked at the kids and I thought I could beat them." I don't even know if that's true. I find that hard to believe. He went there and he got in the corral and he sized up all the kids. He's like, "I could beat these kids." Joe Westerland, good to see you, buddy. The non-aggressive, intense kids will be unburdened by what has been when puberty hits and a massive flow of testosterone meets a true love for the sport he selects. Yeah. Yeah. Joe, I don't think I'm making this up. I think I saw my youngest twin go that night when he was in the shower. He's like, "Hey, will you soap me?" And I said, "Yeah." And when I was like soaping his quads, I was like, "Holy fuck, this kid went through an adaptation too." Like some hormonal release fucking happened to him. He's and even now, 2 days later when I'm looking at him, I'm like, "Wow, this is a different boy." I mean, that boy has no problem with intensity. He loves fighting. Um, but this is a different subject, but there's some adaptation or something that happens in competition that no matter how crazy it gets in the training room, you are not getting. Don't slurp your Jake Chapman, don't slurp your drink, please. It makes me punch the wall and scream into a pillow. What if I lower the volume? The coffee's so hot this morning. Usually I make the coffee 30 minutes before the show comes on and just let the cup sit there. This morning, for some reason, I forgot to make my coffee. I didn't have the discipline or the commitment or the passion to make that second cup. So when I came in my office, I forgot it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I asked my wife to make it. So the coffee's hot, extra hot. That's why I'm slurping. You're welcome. Thank you, son. You're welcome. Domino Canes, did your sons do BJJ or MMA initially? So uh, there's a guy in town, Garth Taylor. He was the first whitey to win the super heavyweight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu championships in Brazil. He was a client of Greg in like 2000. He credited Greg to him winning because he had gone down there several times and not won, and then started CrossFit and won. I think he's also the only guy to win it in like 3 belts. I think he won it like in purple, brown, and black or something like that. There's something like that too. And he's a really special guy. There's a day in Santa Cruz that's even his name is Garth Taylor, and there's even a day in Santa Cruz called Garth Taylor Day. When Garth worked on the harbor, a car drove off the pier, and Garth jumped the 40 feet off the pier into the water and saved one of the people and got one of the people out of the car. One of the people died, but I think he saved the wife, got her out of the car. And so he's really cool. He's got stories of like, watching a cop get beat up and park his car and beat the guy up. And everyone in town knows him. He's a bad dude. Like everyone in town knows him. and he's a really nice guy. So he had a children's program, and I just wanted my kids to be around him. And of course, I'm obsessed. So they started with jujitsu, and then when we eventually we left his gym and we went to another gym, and there's a professional fighter there named what's McKenna's last name? I don't know McKenna's last name. Super hot Asian chick, crazy hot. McKenna, it's funny watching the boys interact with her. But she's a professional fighter, and so she comes over to the house. She was coming over to the house one day a week and teaching him striking and kicking and footwork. And then from there, she's like, "Hey, I'm just going to start 2 days a week. I'm just going to start I don't know if you call it a kickboxing class. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's a strictly punching and kicking and footwork class." And so they started doing that. So now they do that 3 days a week, one private, and then since they're over at the house a lot, Nico and McKenna, the two instructors, they're over here at least one day a week each. They started just mixing it all together, right? So I don't know, but it's been going on for years. And to tell you the truth, as much as I love jujitsu, the striking's absolutely the striking and kicking are just wonderful. It's such a crazy mental exercise, and now the boys can hold mitts for each other. It's really cool. And one of my boys for sure should be a dancer. Joseph for sure should be a dancer, and I think the boxing kind of scratches that itch for him. So I haven't seen the thumbnail. I haven't seen the thumbnail. But anyway, so it just made me think what did people think was going to happen? My boys have commitment, discipline, and passion, just passion for life. They're just passionate kids. Oh, damn, I slurped again. Sorry. The fucking coffee's hot. Why don't you put him in dance? I had him in ballet for 2 years and the fucking boys didn't learn shit. And then COVID came and it was like, I know dancing's gay, but it's cool. It's the cool part of gay. Gay has some cool shit. Gay has some really cool shit. The girls are cool. The dudes aren't so cool. Generally speaking. I had this gay hairdresser once. He was cool. But cooking's cool. The arts are cool. Theater's cool. There's tons of cool gay shit. Dancing is definitely gay. That's in it, but it's crazy cool. Isn't it weird? Dancing's gay, but it gets you so much fucking pussy. So, if you get a dude cutting your hair, gay is preferred. I don't know about that. I don't mind a straight guy cutting my hair. Brianna Roni Dos. My dad put me in dance. I did it for 15 years. I learned so much body awareness and flexibility. Helped me so much as an athlete. Isn't Emma Lawson's background dancing? Did you guys watch Heber and Marsden's video on the tragedy? I actually asked Andrew if he would come on today so we could just go through the comments on that. I was like, hey, let's just read through the comments on that video. I watched the first 50 minutes yesterday. I did 200 calories on the assault bike while I watched it. And then my wife came in the garage and she's like, hey, I'm going to do 300 air squats. And she did 300 air squats in 9 minutes and 34 seconds. And it doesn't even look fast. But dude, can you imagine the ass on my wife? Just think about that. 300 air squats in 9 minutes and 34 seconds. I dare you to try that. It's nuts. And dear Tanner Shuck, I love you, but if you don't think my wife is strong, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's a fucking cannonball, her ass. She got a black girl's butt. just sticks out. Like you could set a glass of water on the back of it. It's nuts. Heidi Kroom, I already think your wife's ass more than I think of your wife's ass more than I should. Yeah, well, there you go. Think about it more. It's crazy. We did CF Kevin. Yeah, this will do it. We did reverse back lunges Friday, and my ass is still killing me. Yeah, that'll break off your ass. The whole lunges thing is wild. Wow. Is this true, Zach? You did 150 push-ups and 200 air squats in 10 minutes? Wow. Wow. So that basically you did 20 air squats and 15 push-ups a minute? Below parallel. You know, that's a really good question, and I'm gonna be honest with you. My wife can be suspect. She can be suspect. They don't look like quarter squats or squats that are too low. She does that thing where she doesn't get her like sometimes she does that thing. These were deep enough. I was watching her this particular day yesterday, but she is suspect. She'll do that thing where she doesn't drive her knees out far enough, and I feel like her ass doesn't drop low enough. And it's crazy because usually my wife and I get along great working out together and all that shit. Um, and she takes coaching, but whenever I'm like, "You can go lower," she's like, "No, I can't." I'm like, "Yes, you can," because I see her go lower all the time, and she can go like 6 inches lower. She's perfectly proportioned. My wife is like proportioned like Emma or Tia. My wife has a body kinda like Emma Lawson's body. She just looks like that's the way you're supposed to look. I did, when I got to 9 minutes I forget, when I got to 9 minutes and 34 seconds, I told her how many I had. I forget how many I had. But I only got 200 and it was my worst ever, although I granted, I got off the assault bike, I rode the assault bike for 20 minutes, but, and then went straight into it, but I only got 234 air squats in 10 minutes. So I saw this clip. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Are my notes fucked up? Please don't be fucked up. Please don't be fucked. Oh, no, they're not fucked up. I saw this, I saw this clip, and, let me preface this with Justin Kotler's a good dude. But I saw this clip and I was kinda tripping on it. Not kinda tripping, I was tripping huge. I'll probably, Christine Young, I'll probably 270 in my workout today. Oh, you'll do, 300, try to do that. By the way, Hiller gave that workout to my wife, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and it's become like a weekly thing for her. She'll either do 300 air squats as fast as she can or she'll do max air squats for 10 minutes. No, I don't have butter in my coffee, just I take it black, just straight black Paper Street coffee. Uh are you gonna do Buttery Bros comments? You didn't finish that thought. Yeah, I'll get back to it in 1 second. I want to show you this Kotler clip first. It's kind of along the same line. All right, here we go. Justin Kotler. This says co-founder and head coach of Underdogs Athletics. I mean, he's the founder. He's just the founder. He probably has to say co-founder to make his wife happy. Co-founder and head coach of Underdogs Athletics, Justin Kotler reacts to his experience at the 2024 CrossFit Games. These interviews were recorded shortly after the conclusion of competition day. Personally, feelings and raw emotions are on display. Please be respectful of that in the comments. When I watched the video, it was funny. When Fikowski got out of the water, he ran over to the fence where I guess his coach was and like his support team was. And the first thing he did is he asked for mouthwash, Listerine. And then Heber or Mars, whoever's there with the camera, says something along the lines of, "Oh, you're doing that to kill the bacteria in your mouth?" And he says, "Yeah." Or he just offers up. They said, "Why do you do that?" And he offered up to kill the bacteria in my mouth. And I was wondering, I wonder if that's on the PFAA website. That would be a nice one. That would have been a nice one to share, right? Value add, give peace and give like Kamala wants people to follow her but she doesn't give any reasons why you should follow her, and the PFAA is the same way. How about just give tons of reasons why people should follow you, and then they'll just start following you? Listen to my podcast. Listen to my podcast. What if my whole podcast was just me saying, listen to my podcast? You'd be like, what the fuck? I have to try to give you some reasons to listen to it, and that's why people come, right? My dog stands by his food bowl because he knows there's going to be food in it. There's some interesting shit Brent says in there. At one point, he even says, maybe I should have done more. Maybe I could have done more. Yeah, like share the fact that you use Listerine after the event to kill the bacteria in your mouth. How about that? How about give advice on what to do with the swim cap? How about tell people with previously with if you have any heart conditions or if you have any issues with swimming, tell the games before because they are consistent in the fact that they give escorts for people who have concerns about the water. I don't know. Don't take it as a joke when when you sign the open agreement that says you have to have a doctor's approval before you enter the open. Okay, here we go. Mr. Kotler, coach of Ricky Garrard, Alex Gazan, Daniel Brandon, Matt DeLugos, Carrie Pierce, Bethany Flores, the most passionate fucking coach in the business. Maybe even more passionate than all the other athletes. Father, husband, does tons and tons of interviews. Always a great interviewer, great talker, knowledgeable. Lived a long life with a lot of depth and a lot of experiences. Here we go.
Because the sport for these athletes needs to be paramount.
The sport for these athletes needs to be paramount. The sport for these athletes needs to be paramount. Hold on. I'm going to look up paramount. I think it means like the most important or top, like the pinnacle. Paramount. Hold on. Paramount. Paramount Pictures. Paramount Plus. Maybe I better put Paramount definition. More important than anything else. More important than anything else. Okay, that's pretty simple. I can do that. Okay, here we go.
Because the sport for these athletes needs to be paramount.
More important than anything else. So the sport for these athletes needs to be more important than anything else. I'm with that. We all on board with that? The sport for these athletes needs to be more important than anything else.
And it needs to come first.
And it needs to come first. Okay, I'm with that. The sport for these athletes needs to be more important than anything else. And then he rephrases it, which is nice. It needs to come first.
And I don't think it does.
And I don't think it does.
Right now, with the current regime.
And it doesn't right now with the current regime. God, it better not. God, it better not come first for the current regime. God, it better not come first for the current regime. Imagine if sport came first for the current regime. Did you finish your school? Could you come back in 10 minutes? You want to talk about your tennis? Okay. Boy, he wants to share his tennis experience with you. It's kind of fun hearing him talk about the kid who banged the racket. It better not come first for the current regime. Here's what it needs to do. Affiliates need to come first for the current regime. I wonder if Justin thinks that. Affiliates need to come first for the current regime. They have to. And that's going to mean unfucking the athletes. That's going to mean recalibrating the importance of the games. Clock, I'm not following that either. The sport must come first for the athletes. Okay, it's paramount, but it doesn't right now for the current regime. No, and it should not. Debussy. Yeah, it sure as fuck better not. I hope that everything that Don hears from the athletes, he goes up to the million-foot perspective and analyzes where they're coming from instead of what they're saying. You know what I mean? I hope he figures out that the fact that as soon as you heard the athletes start making demands, you should be like, okay, what makes them think that they can make demands? Oh, shit. The affiliates make demands. The affiliates can make demands. The athletes cannot make demands. They're not. That's not their role. Their role is to participate or not participate in the options that this movement has made available to them. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Because of the affiliates and the worldwide spread and the low barrier of entry of becoming a gym owner, and because of the huge, enormous impact the lifestyle protocol has on the human DNA, has opened up an opportunity for athletes. Caller, hi.
Savon, what's up?
What's up?
I just wanted to bring up one thing on the PSAA thing. I don't know the giant list of everybody who is, apparently in it. But did you notice that I think every athlete that signed their name to that request letter, their warning, was all not from America? Does that interest you at all? Did you see that?
What about Fee Sagafi?
I guess maybe she's the only one, which she kind of surprised me.
And what about, I think
everybody else.
I think Dina Swift also.
I have no idea. Who is that? Is she an athlete?
You know what? I think I saw her compete in SoCal. I think she came out of nowhere and competed in Del Mar one year, and she was unbelievably impressive human being. Like, some athletes don't go far, but you just still are like, holy shit, you're impressive.
Sure.
Yeah. I think maybe she was a firefighter. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah. I mean, obviously the Europeans, Australians and Canadians, and unfortunately, God, I hope we can fight it off in this country. They have no problem tearing down people from the top to make people at the bottom feel better. I mean, they would love. I know they love the equity life, and they would be so happy if they would. I don't know. They're so fucking delusional in how things work. If they take over the world, we'll end up going back to the fucking Stone Ages. You know what I mean? We're going to end up like fucking Russia. I don't know if you've ever flown on Russia's Aeroflot airplanes, but it's bizarre. Everything just feels like it's 1,000 years old. Yeah, they love tearing down from the top. They resent people who are successful. People, when you're not allowed to celebrate success in those countries. I know the tall poppy syndrome is real. It's for sure real. Hey, their whole thing is you could be like vaccines are killing people, and they're like, hey, just let everyone do what they want to do. It's like it's sterilizing women and it's causing young men to have heart attacks. It's let people do what they want to do. I know, but we got to still tell the truth. Just let people know that we can censor the truth too. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just be cool. Just be cool.
The main names they have, the names that they're leaning on are all, most of them at least, are not Americans, and so it's
Annie Brent. You're talking about Annie Brent. Annie, Brent, and Pat, and Royce. What's interesting about Royce, though, is, Royce didn't
Victoria Campos as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, most of them, right? It's just a mentality thing. That was just my quick, it's interesting that a lot of them are from countries that are unionized socialist mentality. So they think that, we can just do this and form this something out of nothing. And now, they're warning, like you said, what's their...
Yeah.
And what do they stand on?
And to just lead with fear. It's just all about leading with fear. If we don't do this, blah, 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 someone's going to, I know. Yeah. Instead of bringing something to market of value, they want to take from someone else. Instead of bringing, okay, here's a whole fucking list of shit that we would like that adds value to what they can control, which is the athletes, information to the athletes. They want to leverage and take from event organizers. I still haven't talked to Dylan. I'm dying. I need to talk to Dylan over at Wodapalooza and find out if he is held hostage by the athletes. I'm so curious why the NorCal Classic partnered with the PFAA. I don't understand the value of it. Does your insurance go down or something? Why would you let someone get involved in your shit? That it's already proven not to add value. They bring controversy. They bring leveraging from other people's power. And then the event that they were affiliated with was a fucking shit show. So it trips me out.
The concept of it might sound nice, right? The concept of athletes coming together for safety and for fair competition, but that's just not what it's turned into, right? I mean,
no. Here's the thing, dude. I would totally be like all on board if they had like 100 things like swim caps keep in heat, put Listerine in your mouth after the event. If you have any concerns with the water, CrossFit's been known to give escorts to people who have concerns. If they had that whole fucking list of stuff to offer. But it's stuff like, hey, the pull-up bar needs to be higher. Okay, got it. Check. That's been done. Ropes need to be cut. That's been done too. Check. And being hostile with the organization, I can't imagine that if the letter that went out from the PFAA mentioned that they gave these demands to Don. Well, it's very interesting that they gave these demands to Don and still went public with them. It's like, hey, why didn't you like Tommy Marquez says, show some decorum, give the demands to Don, and then sit on it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so sloppy.
Well, the public perspective, at least in my opinion, on Brent Fikowski and Pat Bellner, and some of those, I mean, a lot of those people are that they are a little bit cooler heads, that they are somewhat logical, but this doesn't seem like a logical move, right?
No, not at all. Brent said Brent said in the Buttery Bros piece, it doesn't feel right to not think about Lazar. And I was really tripping on the phrasing of that. It doesn't feel right not to think about Lazar.
Sure. I suppose the purpose for moving forward with the games is to think about him and to have a tribute, right?
But if you're not, I mean, I don't know if I've ever had that thought that it doesn't seem right not to think about something. Do you know what I mean by that? So when I watched the Buttery Bros piece, I started thinking about Lazar and I felt my tear ducts turn on, and I was on the assault bike and I felt myself get all emotional. When I'm not thinking about him, it's not that it doesn't feel right. I don't know. It was a trip. It's a trip. It reminds me of athletes who posted stuff, and when I asked them about why they posted it, they felt like that they were doing what they were supposed to do or what people wanted them to do. That's just bizarre. That's just bizarre to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's the black square all over again, right? I mean, it's probably, if you were to go back to people's profiles, that's probably a lot of the same athletes that did it this time that did it last time.
It's an identical bunch. It's the exact same. It's the exact same ones. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the exact same ones. I'm out. My favorite is the ones that weren't even there that did it. Weren't even at the event. That felt like some need to chime in with some ambiguous thing. I mean, anyone who says that we need change and then that's it. That's the summation of their 3 paragraphs you read. You can just throw them in the fucking moron pile, the kook pile.
Yeah.
It's
well,
like,
I mean, you would hope that it would never stay the same, right? I mean, that's an obvious statement. Yes, every year it needs to change. We need to be better every year. So it's not like you're saying anything that's not true, but they're just saying it because that's what everybody else is saying. That's what they feel they need to pile on at this time.
how about this? If you want change from CrossFit, hey CrossFit, here's a bunch of things we'd like to change. We'd also like to acknowledge, here's 20 things you've done where it's been improvement that the athletes are really appreciative of.
Yeah.
Why not just talk to them like they're real people? Like that's like you don't treat your wife like that. You don't treat your kids like that. You don't treat your coworkers like that. If you do, everyone's gonna fucking hate you, and you're not gonna get anything done. How about acknowledge what they've done so that they're motivated? You give a biscuit to a dog when he sits, and then he keeps sitting for you every time you say sit. That's how the entire fucking world works.
Yeah, positive reinforcement.
Yeah, just like, hey, we know you can make changes. These are places you've made changes before. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We really fucking appreciate it. Here's some other things.
You mentioned the Buttery Bros twice.
Yeah.
Can I ask, how come you've never had them on? Why haven't they been on the podcast? Just to like, is there weird energy in the air from them being like, go still, or like, because I feel like for how big they are and their energy and their vibe, I feel like they should have been on here at least once by now.
Dude, that's a totally fair question, asshole. And
I've been watching since the very beginning, like since you were in your garage with Felipa. So I haven't seen them all one time.
I don't know. I'll probably muddle around with a really long answer. I feel like it needs context why I've never invited them on. I worked with them for a really, really long time. And I've always spoken very highly of their work ethic, their passion, their commitment. I felt very defensive when they made that Instagram post and people were criticizing them. They can make whatever the fuck they want. Like, fuck you if you think that they're like taking advantage of this. Like, you can't say that. You just cannot fucking say that. I need 10 more minutes. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, bub. We'll do it. Don't worry. I'm going to have you on and we'll talk about your tennis match. Don't feel bad. Get pumped up. But when we worked there together and I became head of the department, I was a fucking horrible leader. And my vision for leading was zero. And all I wanted to do was make people happy, right? So all I would do is buy them cameras, approve all their projects. Like, that's all I cared about, was making them happy. And I didn't earn anyone's respect there doing that. And I did that for a couple years. And shit got really, really fucking weird because there was never enough I could do to make everyone happy, right? I could never fucking do enough to make anyone happy. And I think that probably people resented me also because of my proximity to Greg, right?
Sure.
And I think that the only reason maybe why they gave me respect was because I had been there longer than anybody. And then probably towards the but I would war for those guys. Like, even though I knew I would hear constantly all those guys who worked in the media department were always talking shit about me and slamming me behind my back and like telling me even to my face, hey, we don't respect you. Heber and Mars didn't do that, but one of their close cohorts, Ian Wittenberg, did in a meeting one time. And but all I cared about was getting work out of them, and fuck, they were great workers. And then also we just didn't. I had never had any dislike for any of those guys. Never even entered my mind at all. But we just weren't. And even their work that I didn't like, I didn't care because I still knew it was great and it was good and it was growing the sport. Do you know what I mean? Like when they made that 7s to 10s piece, I thought that's fucking completely ridiculous. We should never do something like that. And but I knew it was cool for them because I had been their age once too. They're 10 years younger than me.
Sure.
And I almost got fired because of the Danny Broflex thing on 2 occasions. I got fucking called into fucking Greg's office and fucking screamed at by allowing Danny Broflex to move forward. Greg thought it was completely stupid and dumb, but I didn't care because I knew that Heber and Mars were super passionate about it, and I thought it was funny, and I thought there was a chunk of the community that loved it.
yeah, I mean, in hindsight, that's something people still talk about. You know what I mean? So obviously, they saw it the right way, but I can know where Greg's coming from too, because it was stupid as hell. But some people like that.
And I really enjoyed. I hung out with Heber and Mars and Tommy Marquez a lot at the CrossFit Games this year, like a lot, hours and hours. And I really enjoyed them, and I really enjoyed talking to them. And even one time when I was standing next to Tommy, Dave goes up and goes, "Hey, is it really awkward between you two?" And Tommy goes, "Why?" And he goes, "Because, you guys hate each other." He said something, to make it even more awkward. And Tommy goes, "I don't hate him. I don't have a problem with him." And I don't know if you remember the whole Tommy Marquez thing. We didn't get along. Once again, we weren't enemies. We didn't get along when we worked at HQ together. But I didn't hate him or anything. I was a huge defendant when he first came to CrossFit. So many people were like, "Hey, he shouldn't be doing game stuff because he's green." And I'm like, "But we always all our talent's homegrown." And I always defended him, and he ended up becoming fucking great at it, and he is great at it. And the whole thing happened was when him and Sean had that private show, and they went after Greg and said a bunch of dumb shit, and they said that Greg or me would be persona non grata. So that started like a 2 or 3 year, and they were spreading. I would keep hearing rumors that they would spread rumors about some weird sex shit that supposedly I was involved in or Greg was involved in, which was just absolute insanity. And so there was a weird hiccup there, but I really enjoyed hanging out with them. And when I got that last interview with Lazar, I immediately pulled the clip and I sent it to Heber and Mars, and I said, "Hey, I know you guys are going to get your shit out faster than I am, like 6 months faster. Here's the clip if you want to use it." And what's cool is they used it. They opened their piece with that clip, which was fucking cool. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I don't know if our relationship. I don't know if it's not that it's not authentic. But I don't know. I should have him on. Fuck it. You're right. I should have him on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I struck a chord, obviously, so maybe
I should.
You might want to challenge yourself and get them on. It would be a massive show. It would.
I should have him on. So there's nothing. And I text with Heber and Mars. Like if I see a new camera on the market or something, or a gimbal, I'll be like, "Have you guys tried this? Or what do you guys think about this lens?" Or if I see like. I'll watch one of their pieces if I'm having a guest on that they worked with, and I'll be like, "Hey, I watched your piece. Good job, dudes. You guys are still killing it." The first 50 minutes of the video they came out with is absolutely fucking amazing. I mean, they handled it so well. So
yeah, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I started it, and I did see that they gave you credit for your clip kind of in the bottom, so that was pretty cool of them. And that's what made me think of it. Is I thought it was interesting that you guys collabed on that somehow. And I just haven't seen your paths cross in the social media space, which who cares? But all right, I appreciate you taking my call. Make America great again and make America healthy again.
Thank you, RFK. Man, RFK is killing it. We don't make your company a dime. In fact, we cost you money, but we demand you treat us like your success depends on us. Yeah, that's the PFAA's mission statement.
The sport for these athletes needs to be paramount, and it needs to come first. And I don't think it does right now with the current regime in place. I think that unfortunately, until that happens, I don't know where we're going to be.
There is I have not gone to their website yet. I'm going to go to it right now. There is there is a group that is a professional grid league. There is a place for these athletes. United Grid League, the world's premier co-ed team sport. I think this is it. Okay, listen. Dear Mr. Kotler, This is your spot, buddy. Look at, they're on ESPN, ESPNW. They're on Highlight Her. Clips of Grid League have been featured on social media accounts of the above brands. Oh, okay. So watch Grid. Grid League is the future of team sports. Men and women compete side by side with various specialties, body type workouts together in the ultimate race based on teamwork and strategy. This is it. Here's your, they got the girls in bathing suits with titties out, just like CrossFit. They got the girls with the six pack and the beautiful arms. This is it, dude. This is, it's already here. Here in this organization, they have put fitness. They have put the sport first. This is where you go if you want the athletes to be put paramount. They even got kids. They have a training program. Let me see policies. Do they have an about us? They probably even have. I bet you they have a disclaimer, DMCA policy. I don't know what that is. I'm seeing if they have a DEI policy that would make you happy. They're in Florida, so they might believe in equality and not equity. That seems to be the thing in Florida. They're big on equality there. Oh, this is for copyright complaints. About Grid. Grid League is the future of team sports. Learn how to play Grid. Where should we send the free race rules over the sport? In Grid League, match two teams compete head-to-head in a series of races featuring weightlifting, bodyweight, and other athletic elements. Grid League season is made up of a series of regular season matches and playoff and championship events. Here's the team. Some teams. Teams are composed of an equal number of male and female players. This is it, man. This is your shit right here. You're confused, I think, Justin. They got Grid. Look, they even have they have all the stuff that Fikowski wants. Look, they have a field of play. They probably have standardized movements. Look at, each lane is broken into 4 quadrants. They have all that stuff. Starting line and finish line also have zones. Having the structure format across all Grid matches allows for consistency, accuracy, and familiarity. Look, this is your shit, dude. Caller, hi.
What's on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just fucking the PFAA up right now. Just
big fan of the show. Been listening for a long time. I think all the discussion on the.
Go ahead.
All the discussion on the PFAA is really good. I think it's been really interesting. Has anybody thrown out the hypothetical? This is hypothetical. So I'm gonna get your reaction and maybe everyone's reaction to what they think about this. But CrossFit has the ability to extend invites and manage who attends the CrossFit Games. Right, they've done that in the past with Ben Smith and some others. I think Hunter, your boy Hunter, got an invite. What if they did the opposite and revoked? What if they just said, you know what, Brent? I think you're done. We'll move on. I think there's people that could backfill them, amazing athletes. Has anybody thrown that idea out there?
Hey.
And what do you think the reaction would be?
There has been discussion, I'm sure, of banning athletes. It's usually for just some I can't tell you why. But you could guess, and it's not drug reasons. Yeah. But I've never heard of an athlete being banned. No, I mean I can't. This is fucked right here. But Brent is fucking amazing, dude. His contribution is fucking insane. It's just so fucking awesome. What he's done for this sport, what he's done for CrossFit, what he's done is like, God, even though it's only 0.00001% change, what he's done in the lane that he's in the lane he's in is so insignificant, but in the lane he's in, he's done so much in that I can't think of any. I mean, I can't think of any reason to ban him. Can you? I mean, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree. He's awesome. He's an amazing athlete. I think that
he's cool-headed. He's great in interviews. He's pleasant. He's generous with the other athletes. He's concerned about safety. I can't think of a fucking reason to ban him. He's dope.
I guess the biggest thing would be the demands and the way that this is being handled and the inflammatory kind of way he's going about it. I don't agree with that.
I mean, so I think for me, it's no, for me, it's become, is inflammatory the word? I don't know. I'm okay with, It's on Dawn now. I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay with everything Brent's doing. I hope he's okay with everything I'm doing. But it's
I
on
think what they're
Dawn now.
trying to
It's
accomplish
on
is
Dawn.
good.
Maybe we owe Brent. Maybe we should give him Spirit of the Games award because what he's doing is actually causing us to realize, oh shit, we need to recalibrate. Greg was right.
But do you think it's causing a divide? I just see it causing like a big divide. Now you're having these people, these camps that are either pro days.
It is, but the herd needs to be cold. It's just like it just needs to be cold. Like 25% of the affiliates need to go away. Fucking the athletes need to pull their fucking head out of their ass. Not all of them, but you know what I mean. Like the vocal minority. It's just they just got confused. They're so confused about what their role is. They're just completely fucking utterly confused.
And you don't think a ban would put that in perspective? I think it's like how do we do that then? That's why I'm like, let's just give them a ban for a couple years and see what it does.
I think it's all on Dawn. Hey, listen, it's all on Dawn. I hear what you're saying about the division, but for me, it's like they may not just be until they can think clearly, or until the sport gets to where they want it to be, which might not be ever, or might be in 50 years or whenever. They need to recalibrate. And
I'm good with that.
Yeah, so I can't see. I mean, I fucking like the dude. I think the dude's fucking cool as shit. But he's just so severe. He's so fucking confused on this issue, and rightfully so. One of his homies died, right?
Sure. Oh, definitely.
So I think all his retardation is just raced to the front of his mouth, and it's just falling out of his mouth.
I think the PFA, what they stand on, what they're trying to accomplish is good. I think they need some help on how they get there, right? Maybe some of the business side, or what they're trying to accomplish aside from the athletes, right? I think they need some professionalism.
You walk into a room and some guy's beating your daughter, and you have a gun in your hand, and you shoot him and kill him, and then you spend the next 60 years in jail, and you're not there for your daughter, and you ruin her life because her dad's in jail. You know what I mean? We got that situation. I mean, that's the extreme of it. But you know what I mean? Brent's experiencing something that's fucking highly uncomfortable, that he's really pissed off at, that he has a ton of valid points on, and he fired a fucking gun. And it's like, oops. Uh-oh.
That's good. I like that analogy.
You know what I mean? Thank you.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of it. My kids want to take over my show. They keep like they're outside the podcast studio, just like circling like vultures.
Well, bring him on, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to talk with you. Like I said, just keep the show going. It's awesome, man. Love it.
All right. Thank you. Oh, now you guys are all here today, now that Froning doesn't have a show. Yes, I heard Saban was a bigot and a horrible human I came to see and haven't left. Oh, fine. I'm watching my son try to put on a sweater. What are you doing in here? I have a serious show I'm doing today. All right, I love you. Would you have school? How come you don't understand? Marco Calderon, 11 years alcohol free. Could you give me like 20 more minutes? Okay, thank you. You guys can't be outside my window you have to be like smiling and lift me up. There you go. Attaboy. Remember, your whole purpose in life is to make me happy. 20 minutes, okay? Yeah. I promise you I'm going to do what if I do your own podcast with you later today and we just talk about your tournament? You and Ari can come in too. Okay, he doesn't have to come in. Okay, then he has to come in. Okay. Love you guys. Bye. Holy shit. I can't stand it when I'm watching someone's show and they got like their kid sitting on their lap and their kid comes in, but I probably don't like it because that's who I am, right? Anyway, so Justin, they have the Grid League. Dear PFAA, we don't like your tone. What was that? Someone didn't like Dave. Was that a reference to someone didn't like Dave's tone? Okay, let me go back to this Justin Kotler video. Let's see. So I mean, I found the solution for Justin.
And I worry for the future of the sport. You know,
I agree with him there. I don't know. I don't worry about it. I'm excited. Where I agree with him is he thinks there's going to be change, and I think there's going to be change too. I'm not worried about it. I'm crazy excited by it. I'm so fucking excited by it. Lone Star CrossFit. Fruit trees need to be pruned to produce the most yield. I know my dad always tells me that. It's long overdue for CrossFit. Bring Pukey back. The biker gang mentality. Athletes need to be put in their place. Affiliates first, health first. Yeah. And dude, there's still plenty of room for fucking athletes to shake that ass and get Instagram followers and all that. Jedediah Snelson, you know the Grid League is where Kotler started, right? I didn't know that. I didn't.
You know, it's tough. I just have so many. I haven't been able to really, process it all. I've had to coach and be there for Ricky and Al.
He's really buff, by the way. Kotler. Like, if you didn't know, like when you see him in person, he's yoked.
Alex this weekend, and
he's a practitioner.
But I think all of us are in a scenario where it's kind of like just pushing it down, and then it's going to come out eventually. And unless we deal with it, some things have to change because the sport.
I agree. Some things have to change, and I would like to. I've laid the plan out clearly. I think I'm gonna take credit for laying the first plan out, and since then it's been modified a little bit. I think I was off a little bit. Caleb did mention that. I don't know if it's Caleb or someone did mention that if you force people to go into the affiliates to do the open, you do not want to alienate people who are overseas. Who are on military bases. You definitely don't want to. I mean, I'm guessing there's 20,000 soldiers probably. I'm just making it up, but that would be fucking 10% of the open is soldiers who do it, who aren't an affiliate. But the athletes, if they want to be paramount, if they want to be in a world where they are number one, CrossFit is not for them. That is not. I always hated it when they referred to gym goers as athletes. Like you'd see those shirts and it would say athletes. I didn't hate it, but I just thought it was a mistake. Athlete. What's the definition of athlete? Athlete. I'd rather see it say role model. Athlete. A person who is proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise. Oh. Maybe they are athletes. So the sport is not paramount to CrossFit and its success. A matter of fact, my stance is that it is the opposite. It is currently hurting. And in regards to the division, those people can just go away. Like the affiliate. The affiliates aren't going to bend. There's not going to be 15,000 training centers for the sport of CrossFit. You know what I mean? There's not like in the perfect world for Justin Kotler and the PFAA, every gym would be a recruiting center for CrossFit Games athletes. We're not even close to that. That's not even the charter of the company. That sounds more like what a High Rocks gym is, or a I don't know. Does the Grid League have gyms? I don't even know if a UFC gym is those UFC gyms. I don't even know if those are recruiting centers. I think those are just gyms I've never been in one, but I always picture them as just being like Planet Fitness inside, but also with some punching bags. Oh, Ben, back to my kids. Thank you. The tennis coach is simply saying other kids will be swinging the racket a few 100,000 times more over the next few years. Live that concept with baseball. It's true. Yeah, you're right. And you're right. He wants there to be a commitment to where I reach out to other parents and he plays at least, a couple hours every week with kids outside of class, which sometimes we go on a roll and it's like that for like 3 months and then we miss like 6 months. And I'm just not, maybe it's my own laziness. I'm just not there with that commitment. There's something funny about a lot of the critics as if they existed as pro athletes in other sports where it was well run. At best, most are failed NCAA athletes. Oh, okay. UFC gyms are basically licensed gold gyms with a fake octagon. Okay. Oh, so they do have an octagon in them that's just sort of there as an art piece. No one wants the games. Bleeding money for corporate entity, CrossFit should lease the games and fittest on earth title to the highest bidder. I don't think anyone wants them. I don't think CrossFit wants to part with the Open either. I think the Open, is super valuable, not just financially, but for the wellness of like the community part of the community of the ecosystem. And I don't think that I'm not sure that's been looked at over and over and over and start parceling that out. I think could be bad news. Jake Chapman, hi. Good morning. I have something for you. Sevedy, there's a video from about 1 year ago where Kalipa is talking about the competitors shouldn't be central to at all to your affiliates. There's this cycle that the CrossFit Games athletes go through. They come in as affiliate members. They're so excited and thankful they go to the games. They become self-important and they think it's just all about the games. They have this games career. Then they come out and then they start hating the games and they're like, it's really about health and fitness and wellness. And they start getting all these business ideas, in different ways. And then they do that for a couple years and then they come back to the games and start being assholes about the games again. It's this weird cycle. I've seen it with all of them from OPT to fucking all of them. It's always the same cycle. Always. Always, always, always. Always the same cycle.
Call them Indians because that's what they are. They're the Indians. There's nothing wrong with the word. First of all, it's important to know that Indian, that word probably does not derive from Columbus believing he had reached India in 1492. India was called Hindustan.
I fact-checked that. After I heard him say that, I looked it up and I said, what was India called in 1492? And it was called Hindustan. There was no such word as India. So why did Columbus call the Indians Indians, and why would anyone think it's derogatory? Weird, right? Well, let's go on.
Likely, the word derives from Columbus's description of the people he found here. He was an Italian who spoke very poor Spanish, and in his written accounts, he called the Indians una gente in Dios, a people in God.
And I looked that up. And the translation I found is he called them children of God. Columbus used it was in Dios. It was like something children of God. And George Carlin says people of God. And the woke group wants us to call them Native Americans. Why would you want to call them children of God? It's offensive. It's fucking wild. We live with morons.
in God, in Dios, Indians. It's a perfectly noble thing. And I simply can't justify this awkward phrase, Native Americans. First of all, they're not natives. They came here from Asia over the Bering Land Bridge. In fact, there are no natives anywhere in the world. Everyone is from somewhere else. All people are refugees, immigrants, or aliens. If there are natives anywhere, it would have to be people still living in the Great Rift Valley in Africa. So everyone is just visiting. So much for native. As far as calling them Americans is concerned, well, how can I say this? We steal their hemisphere, destroy 500 cultures, kill 20 million, stick the rest of them on the worst land we can find, and then as a special bonus, we name them after ourselves. It's embarrassing. It's just
Democrats. Fucking wild, right? I didn't know that until last night. I started Googling around, like everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. Clark Carlin was a genius. Fuck, I'm never using the word Native American again. I'm guilty. I fall for that shit, all that shit too. Got quite a bit of libtard in me. Someone sent me this line this morning. I opened up my Instagram and they sent me this quote from C.S. Lewis. Pretty girl sent it. Thick black hair. I forget her name. Ashley? Looks Mexican. Crazy thick hair. She sent me the C.S. Lewis sign. And it said, no one ever told me that grief felt so like fear. I don't know why she sent it to me, but I started thinking about it. And it was a weird sensation I was having. No one ever told me that grief felt so like fear. Or I never even thought of grief and fear in the same category. Grief. Grief is a normal response to loss, such as death of a loved one, a serious illness, or other major life changes. It can involve complex emotions like sadness, anger, guilt, numbness, confusion, helplessness. Grief is a process of letting go and learning to accept and live with loss. Isn't that weird? Grief is a process of letting go. And yet, while people were grieving at the games, and I'm not saying this is wrong at all, but while people were grieving at the games, it was the exact opposite. It was like, how can we hold on to this? Grief is a process of letting go and learning to accept and live with loss. And I talked about this like with, and I'm sure that, some psychologist has detailed out the whole process, but the road, like at some point, the journey for Luca is going to be fucking wild, right? If he's going to get past grief, because how is he watched his brother die and he has to learn to let go and accept. I don't know, man. Imagine if one of your kids died, how hard that would be to let go and accept. The amount of time it takes to adapt to loss varies from person to person, and there is no right or wrong way to mourn. I don't know. That's not true. If your mourning involves like, killing other people, that's wrong. I don't agree with that line. And by the way, if grief is a process of letting go, so maybe the process is to hold on really tight at first, hold on as tight as you can, right? And then eventually you reach a point and you have to let go because it's just too painful to hold on anymore. So maybe you have to go the wrong way before you come back and go the right way. But I'll tell you this: if you hurt other people in your grief, if you hurt other people as part of your grieving process, that will also weigh on you. You won't feel good about that. In the end, you'll have to process that too. If you're looking for the solution for grief out here, to cure your grief out here, you're not going to find it. It's not out here. It's in here. Grief is the process of letting go and learning to accept and live with loss. The amount of time it takes to adapt to loss varies from person to person, and there's no right way or wrong way to mourn. Not true. Some people may go through stages of grief, such as denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. However, others may resolve their grief without going through any of these stages, or they may go back and forth between them. Yeah, I see that. Here are some things that you can do to cope with grief. Learn, lean on others, seek online grief counseling. Jesus. I mean, like, you just know that one's just fucking stupid because that get support from grief counselor or your faith community. Consult with a psychologist or licensed. Geez, these are horrible. But nowhere do you see. Oh, it says it's generated by AI. This solution. That's funny. But nowhere did it say hurt someone. What are the 7 stages of grief about? Shock, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, testing, acceptance. Where's the blaming part? Anyway, this morning when I read that line, no one ever told me grief felt so much like fear. I started like trying to feel grief and then feel fear. For me, they don't really intersect. So I couldn't really understand the line. Fear is weird. I heard, this is old. I don't know if this is true, but I heard during the Republican National Convention, a Grindr in Milwaukee crashed. Grindr's the gay sex dating site. And I heard there were so many people using it that it crashed. That's awesome. I wonder if it crashed in Chicago at the DNC. You think it did? Oh, Jeremy crashed it. Blame is associated with anger.
One that's going to be interesting is the Democrat convention.
Where's that going to be?
That's in Chicago.
Like,
For those of you that weren't alive in 1968, the Democratic convention in Chicago in 1968, where Lyndon Johnson bowed out of the race. I remember sitting in my parents' living room. I was in like 8th grade or 7th grade, and Lyndon Johnson addressed the nation. He goes, if nominated, I will not nor will I accept the nomination for your president. It's prime time. He said, wow, he just said he's stepping down. It was going to be Bobby Kennedy, and they shot Bobby Kennedy in the head. And then it was Hubert Humphrey. Nobody wanted Hubert Humphrey. And everybody went to Chicago and they rioted on national TV. So we were watching the convention. They go, oh, go outside with a disturbance. And they're billy clubbing people. And the people are chanting, the whole world's watching, the whole world's watching. They're just beating the shit out of the demonstrators. It was wild. That was Chicago Democratic Convention. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. The one that's going to be interesting is the Democrat convention.
So that was RFK's dad. They were going to nominate him as president, and he got blasted. Did you hear that they fucking... Oh, wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. This is fucking wild. I'll let Patrick Bet David say it. I saw this yesterday on Patrick's Instagram. Where is it if I can find it? Look at this. This is fucking crazy. This is a little long, but check this out. This is wild.
So if you like politics, because the strategy behind it, you tell me where the strategy behind this is. So today, the Biden-Harris White House announced that Bobby Kennedy will no longer get Secret Service protection because he officially endorsed Trump 2 days ago, and he will not be competing in the 10 battleground states, only in the other 40. He's going to be on the ballot on the other 40, but he's no longer going to get Secret Service. And he got Secret Service 2 days after Trump's assassination attempt on July 13th. They gave it to him on the 15th because Trump said RFK's got to get it, so they gave it to him. And now you drop it. So what does this really mean? So this means Bobby Kennedy, who was going to go campaign, the safest place Bobby Kennedy is going to be is when he's next to Trump. Really? Do you realize if Bobby or RFK Jr. went to Trump just for a job, let's just say, not because he likes him, let's just say, and you had the most important guy you lost, you should have never lost Bobby, because there's a lot of people in America that did not want to vote for Biden. They did not want to vote for Kamala. They did not want to vote for Trump. They were willing to give their vote up to Bobby Kennedy. And now, what you're telling me and telling him is, hey, Mr. RFK Jr., the safest place for you is when you're right next to Trump. That means he's going on the trail with Trump. That is double dumb. That's what you call strategery. I don't see the strategy behind it. Now, listen, this is the game of deception. This is the game of manipulation. This is the darkest competition where things get dirty and weird and strange and stuff that's like you feel like you're in the Twilight Zone. So we don't know the whole story behind it. But on the surface, this is not a smart decision to take Secret Service away from Bobby. Terrible decision, because you just got him and Trump closer. So it's no longer just about him finding out what the CIA did, whether the CIA was involved with the assassinations or Fauci investigation, all this stuff. No, now you're just pissing him off even more. That if he gets in with Trump, oh, the establishment, he's going to come for you. He is not going to forget these days that you didn't protect him, knowing his last name is Kennedy. Very weird. Very weird. What do you think?
Crazy. Holy shit. They took his dad and his uncle were blasted? And you pulled his protection? I saw this on Instagram. Here's a look at this sport. This is, I mean, this sport needs PFAA. A bunch of you guys sent this to me. This shit is crazy. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's a bike race and there's a track, but you don't have to stay on the track. It says this is a mass race that's wild. It's called the Max Enduro in Courchevel. Courchevel. We overtook everywhere, lots of mud, riders overtaking you any way they can. It was sick. Only rule, go as fast as possible. You're not even going to believe this. Imagine a race where you don't have to stay on the track. So there's a track, a groomed track, but if you want to cut corners, you can. You can't even fucking believe this thing. Watch this guy. It's completely unreal. And it's foggy. Some of those dudes don't even have pads on. Actually, a lot of those dudes don't have pads on. It's a downhill bike race where you don't have to stay on the course. Look at those guys all just cut the course in half. You see that? They just cut that turn. And what's crazy is you don't even see one accident. Look at, there he goes. He just got pushed off the course and cuts it short. This is unreal. I was watching it with my kids. They didn't even think it was real. They just bomb. Nuts. Nuts. And then they come onto concrete here. Look at this turn. Holy shit. The audio is great. I just can't play it because it's got that song and I don't want the copyright to get jacked up. And then back onto concrete. Wild, right? Helmets are gay. Jesus criminy. Sevon, check out Mega Avalanche downhill. Same thing. It's nuts. Vindicate, they probably have Red Bull money and make way more than CF athletes. I was looking at the event that Dylan's putting on in SoCal. I was trying to figure. I thought it was 2-man teams. I finally had it explained to me. I guess there are 2 teams, 8 people each. And it's the world versus North America. But Brent is on one team. Brent is on the world team, and Pat's on the North America team. I heard Barbell Spin over Barbell Spin. Brian Spin explained why. I haven't gone over and looked why. One of the Canadians gets to go. And the winning team, all the people get $20,000, and the losing team, all the people get $5,000. That's what I learned about the event. For some reason, I thought the event was just 2-man teams up until yesterday, last night. I don't know why I can't get into teams. I never liked the Invitational too. I guess a lot of people liked the Invitational. That was those were big teams too, right? I never got into the Invitational. I just like watching one dude go or one chick go. Safety first.
Morning message. Monday, August 26th. As if you need more information. Epic Times article. What are you inhaling when you wear a mask? Let's take a look. Disposable face masks may release up to 3,000 different types of plastic particles simply by inhaling through a surgical mask, homemade mask, or various types of masks that are commercially available. Here's the article. Take a look. These inhaled particles include things like heavy metals, PFAS, that's polyfluoroalkyl substances, or so-called forever chemicals. 63% of the masks tested showed alarming numbers of particles that were being inhaled. Never mind that they don't actually stop a respiratory viral illness. So what's the proper disposition of one of these surgical-like masks? Let me show you right here. Burn, baby, burn. Morning message, Monday, August 26th. As if you need more information.
It's wild. It's like duh, right? It's like duh. Duh. I wonder how much that's exacerbated when you're wearing it when you're working out with like heavy breathing. It's like, of course that fucking thing breaks down. What's up, Hans? How are you, dude? If this is the Hans, I was so surprised you didn't come in and try to take the money this week. Was it this week or last week? One of the weeks I was like, oh shit, Hans might be able to come in and get the money. All right. Finally, here's a sports figure actually doing good in the world. This is the guy that threw away, I think, the Coke or the Gatorade or something one time. Here we go. How about this guy?
To be honest, I won't buy my son an iPhone. I am the most followed athlete on Instagram, and fans often ask me why I don't let Junior be on social media. That's because my son made a secret Instagram account back in 2020, and in one day, he got over 1 million followers. When I found out, I made him delete the account immediately. And now, at 14 years old, he still doesn't have an iPhone. I made this choice because I want him to understand the real value of hard work. He's pushed to train hard, and it's really annoying when he drinks a lot of soda and eats potato chips instead of healthy food. Giving Junior a phone will make it harder for him to reach his potential because I don't want him becoming addicted to technology. So that's why I'm waiting to give him an iPhone. To be honest, I won't buy my son an iPhone. I am the most followed athlete on Instagram, and fans often ask me why I don't let Junior be on
This
social
is
media.
AI? This is AI? Really? How do you know? Dick Butter, he's got one. Don't be fooled, bro. Oh, to his dad? That's not what CR7 sounds like. That's not his voice. He sounds nothing like that. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. No, it's a translator. Either way, I fully support the message. Brianna, that's amazing. You guys know what this guy sounds like. You guys are so worldly. Could be a translator, would have to see the original. God, I love the live chat. Kid has a burner. Straight Now translator. He started a YouTube channel. He got 15 million followers in a day. The Sun? Wow. Wow. Corey Leonard, great message. Not his voice, though. Dan Guerrero, I think you can run with it. That concerns me if Dan and I are on the same page. Chad F. Ronaldo, that's who that is. Why do I always want to call him Rolando? Ronaldo speaks English well. Oh, thank you, Lupe. Yeah, don't believe every video you see on Instagram. Oh, thanks. Whew. Appreciate it. Hey, listen, I believe them all until that's why I bring them here, so you guys can unfuck me. You guys thought you were watching me. You guys are all actually my mental health provider. Oh, the old consensus, huh? Chat F. I don't know for sure, but everyone in the chat said it wrong. All right. If Kayla was here, we would do a poll. You guys want to finish with another athlete too? I don't know why I get so obsessed with Goob. I worry about him sometimes, like he's too aggressive. That's why I have a relationship with a random Instagram dude who doesn't know I have a relationship with him. Like, oh, I don't want anything bad to happen to Goob. Oh, the Wuhan press minimum weight 315. Really? There's a minimum weight for the Wuhan? Oh, that means I'll never have the Wuhan press. You can't just do the Wuhan with 65 pounds? That's crazy. I didn't know that about the Wuhan. Is that true? The Wuhan press minimum weight is 315. Oh, shit. Sub 315 lifts do not qualify as Wuhan press. Holy shit. Did anyone here know that? Are there any other lifts that have a minimum lift requirement? I can do, Jonathan Ortega, you can do whatever the fuck you want, Sevi. Maybe it's called the Pusan lift if you do less than 315. I can only do the pussy version, the Pusan. There's no scaled version of the Wuhan. Now we know. Wow. That's fucking nuts. I guess it's not a pull-up unless you do, I guess the minimum is your own body weight. I do the Pusan press. Anyway, you can never get enough. I don't know why this move just fascinates me. That sucks. I'll never do one. Whatever. I guess there's lots of things I'll never do.
There we go.
I can't do
Easy
that.
money.
I can't do that part. I can't do this part.
Without even freaking trying. My God. Smoked it.
All of it's crazy.
Let's
All
go,
of it's
John.
impressive. So he deadlifts and then fuck, look at his arms. He turns into a gorilla for a second and bends his arms and gets it to his waist. And as soon as he gets to his waist, he sits down.
There we go.
He does a little adjustment. Probably it was on his helmet or his balls or something. He had to do a quick little okay. Adjustment off the cock.
Easy
Knees up. That probably adjusts the bar a little bit too.
money.
That and then a hip thrust. Just a quick little pow. Dude, you know what would be crazy is to see Goob do press to handstand, because his hands are so low down there. I bet you this fucking dude. I wonder if he's done that. Someone needs to ask him to try to do that. Just in the, lay on his stomach and see if he can just push up into a handstand. This guy is fucking strong. Pops it up like that. Has anyone in the chat tried this? His little pow with his fucking cockins, the cock region. And then catches it on his chest. That could go horribly wrong, right? If that would have rolled down to his throat. Precision, accuracy. This guy's a fucking CrossFitter. Boom! Holy shit. It's nuts, dude. I'm telling you. I kind of want to call John Young right now. I've never called him on the show. He did that. John Young did that years ago with 630. You can do 135, Rambler? And you're strong, right? Pretty bruised ribs the first time. Yes, laugh out loud, pretty bruised. Oh, you did it with 315, Zach? Lupe, it's a horizontal power clean. Oh, I thought you said horrible. Man. I can do it at 205. I tried. I guess for sure, I'll state the obvious. You can't do it with more than you can bench press. And I've never even benched 225. So I'm fucking out. I suck. Anyway, it's fucking cool. This guy's on a tear. Oh, he doesn't like dudes ogling his chicks, but I'm going to ogle her a little bit. Landon in Kansas for the 2 Satisfaction event tomorrow. Come through and say what's up. That's a cool pic. What's on his girl? Oh. I thought maybe she spilled her coffee on herself, but it's some reflection off the mirror in the wall, giving her that Harlequin. Yeah. Sorry, Goob. Your chick has to get ogled a little. She's smoking. All right. Well, there you go. Wuhan Press. That's everything you need to know about the Wuhan. I just walked you through that. I would fucking... What if Dave invited... What if Dave invited Goob to the games and they did the Wuhan... She's dripping. Does that mean she's smoking? Yeah. If it does, yeah. Did you see Noodles on... Noddles on Glinton? Who's Noddles? I don't know who that is. Oh shit! Goob missed a good chance of calling himself Gooby Dooby Doo. He could still do it. What if Dave invited Goob to the games next year and they made the Wuhan Press one of the movements? And he demoed it for everyone. That would be dope. A Noodles was just some dude in his car. No, is it a great show? Should I go over there? Who's Noodles? Let me see. Glinton things. Who wants to link? Who wants to link? DM us. Mountain West. Let's talk about John Woolley, Bill Grunler, Taylor Self. Damn, they have good guests. John Young, Andrew Hiller, Sevan Matosian. Let me see. Videos. Oh shit. Glinton things. I don't see the Noodles one. Is it a live show? Sunday recap. I don't see it. Oh, they had Matthew on. Holy shit. I don't see Noddles or Noodles or whatever. Oh, they had Gabe on? Caleb. Damn, Caleb's show got a lot of views. Pedro White. Oh, Matt Souza's show got a lot of views. They had Tucker the Fucker on. Sorry, I don't see it. It's the Who Wants to Link a Show. Oh. All right.
So would you say?
Oh, okay. Shit. Wow. Does that dude live in the back of his car?
Like we definitely try to make sure like the guy that owns the store next door, he's a fisherman. He just, he like our kid hangs and he swims and he
They should get the fish, they get to do whatever they want, right? But I'm talking about like growing up in a household, if there isn't that male presence there, you're going to have two people that are going to coddle this person.
So you're specifically talking about the fact that two women are raising him. That's no matter no matter who.
You're saying in the household there has to be
a male figure.
Fuck. Garrett and Colleen got balls. So, for those of you who don't know, that Garrett hosts a show when I can't make the show, and love her to death. Her and Colleen do it, and she's obviously a girl. Colleen's a girl. They're married. Colleen had their baby, and they're raising him together. I want to say he's like 7 or 5. He's a little boy, active little boy. And they open themselves up to people like this guy saying, if I understand the premise of this right, this guy saying, yo, you got two women there, and without a man, your boy's going to get coddled the fuck out of. Brianna Roney, I respect them major for having that conversation. Yeah, that's awesome. Judy Reed, they really have the best conversations. Yeah, crazy. I want to hear a little bit more of this.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because when the child grows up, right, and I've seen this. I've seen it I had a friend that this happened to. He is appalled. He's frightened by a lot of stuff. He doesn't know how to interact with certain people. And for instance, guys, the reality of it is guys are inappropriate. And a lot of women are shocked by, like, there's certain things I wouldn't say to a woman that I say to a guy,
Sure. For sure.
And
locker room talk.
Well, it's real, and you have to have that balance. I think it's an experience that they have to have, and if they don't, they come out awkward, and they haven't.
They come out awkward. That's me. But let me tell you something. I would take 2 moms over 2 dads any day. I would take 2 moms. I would take 2 moms over 2 dads any fucking day.
Awkward. They have a hard time adjusting to society. It's kind of like you punish your kids, right? You punish your kids. You're telling them, hey, listen, you do something wrong, you're gonna end up in jail or whatever.
So, I mean, how do you what's your stance on, if you don't mind me asking, what's your stance on like lesbians raising, like if we were raising a daughter, would you feel better about it?
No, I would feel great. You guys raising whoever you
Damn.
can. If you guys are willing,
This is a great conversation. You guys need to pull this clip, Garrett. If you listen to this show, you need to clip this. 2 lesbians raising a son. Fuck, you guys are awesome. What great fucking role models of human beings Garrett and Colleen are to be able to fucking sit there and listen to this. Because just even being their friend, there's a piece of me that just wants to go off on the dude. Oh, Sevi, go to minute 56. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
like, how bad was it? What was the turn off about it? Because I'm going to be honest with you, men are disgusting. Men are absolutely disgusting. Most heterosexual men understand gays, like gay women. I totally get it, right? Women are beautiful. Everything about women is beautiful, right? Whatever. But what was it if you did have sex with a man? What was the biggest turn off?
Are we just like? Do I just answer, or do you want to answer?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure. I didn't realize we were talking about my sex life on podcast.
Holy shit. Jake Chapman, I'm so happy right now. I fucking love Garrett. Look at I just look at her face, look at her lips, look at her skin. What a fucking great human. She just oozes great human. This guy just asked him what they don't like about dick. I don't know if I can watch this. What if this hurts my feelings? It was insanely good show of the year. Yeah, fuck, dude. This is wild. Damn. You're so gay, dude. Hey, dude. I just want to say this. If that's you in that picture, I know why you think I'm gay. Just sit with that a little bit. This is wild. Okay, here we go. I feel like you guys should go over there and watch this. I feel like I'm like, fuck, this is crazy. Let's go back 10 seconds because it's so fucking uncomfortable.
Podcast.
Just answer, or do you want to answer?
Me?
Dude, look at Garrett. Look at her. Big old almond eyes.
Yeah.
Sure. I didn't realize we were talking about my sex life on podcast.
Yeah, Colleen. Uh-oh. Jesus crimey. Furniture Fund, Sean Scott, thank you. Yes, listen. James Sprague. We bought him a couch on the show the other day. If you didn't donate your $4 or $5, please donate now. Thank you. Okay. Oh, wait, what am I doing? What's going on here?
It's fine. I've already talked about mine.
Yeah.
No, I've already talked about mine, so it's fine.
Yes, I did date men before. I have slept with men before. And for me, it was just, I never enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't compared to me sleeping with women.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. Like, sleeping with women is very, very different for me. So I just never really enjoyed it. It really just wasn't a thing. But for growing up, it's what you were supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to. I had a high school sweetheart.
Shit. Look at this comment. Look at this comment from Seema Boobs. Sevi would die for this content. God, you know me so well. Fuck. And now I'm over here just stealing it. I feel horrible stealing it. You have to hear what he says. Oh my God. Look at this. Seema writes. Look at it. Sevi would die for this content. Holy shit. Oh, look at all your guys' comments. Here we go. Speak for yourself. I'm a delight.
Kind of say so. Like, I think that the reason I maybe enjoyed it with him was because I was more emotionally with him. But when I slept with other men, like, I just never enjoyed it.
Like, what was it though? Like, did it gross you out? Did it, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like, homosexual sex, like with guys, that's the to me that's totally gross. That's gross to me. I mean, it's like a lot of, I don't know. Like women
No.
and women, I want to have fucking sex with. I want
But
to have this
isn't that
interaction.
but isn't that it though?
That's
Like
it though.
there's
Exactly like you're
everybody
saying, like everybody has their thing. So
there's not anyone out there that, I mean, forgive me, straight women in the chat. I'm sorry. But I would agree, like it's like the straight men and gay women can agree that like women are hot, and it's just that's it. Like
Mhm.
you just don't.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody has that sexual preference, you know, when it comes to having sex. So I have slept with men before, but again, it was because I was supposed to. That was just the family that I grew up in, the environment, the social pressures, I guess you could say, or, you know, 'cause I
Holy
came out
shit, look
later.
what Seema just posted. That beard makes me want to switch teams. Holy shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. All right. If you guys want to hear the greatest podcast in the CrossFit space, it is... Hey, fucking, I'll put a link in here for you. Here you go. Jesus criminy. There it is. Go over there and fucking hear a guy in his car with his fucking camping gear in the back. Man. All right. Yeah, go over there and subscribe. Am I subscribed? Oh, I got to give that a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm subscribed and I get all the announcements. Wow. Jesus, Garrett, break that off as a clip. That's crazy. What a great conversation. Oh, shit. Did you spell Heidi great? Oh, damn close. Wow. It's Hyrig, but damn good, Jan Clark. Heidi. Avi and the boys sitting out at the window thinking Heidi said 20 minutes, 45 minutes ago. I know. I need to. They want to just take over the show. Who's this? Someone just texted me. Oh, I think. Oh, that's cool. All right. I've been reaching out to all these adaptive athletes, trying to get them on before the what's it called? The thing in San Antonio from the 19th to the 22nd. It's Wheel Wad CrossFit Adaptive Games World Championships. It's a crime that there's not 1,000 subs yet. They don't have 1,000 subscribers. Oh yeah, that's crazy. And the conversation flows. Damn. All right there, buddy. All right. All right. Yeah, you were close. That was pretty good. It was impressive that you even had the R in there. I know, it's crazy, right? Sevi with the arm stretch to read the phone. I feel you, but I know it's just crazy. It's with the I need new glasses. I mean, if I don't wear my glasses, it's all good. I'm like a normal human. It's fucked. But now I can't see the screen. Oh, what a mess my life is becoming. I seriously never thought this would happen to me. I thought I was like above all this. All right. What did we learn today? The Wuhan lift is 315 minimum. Fucked up. It's not an equity lift. That's the fucking thing. Goob is a racist. It's not an equity lift. He only believes in equality. Fucker. Wuhan is not an equity lift. Okay, fine. I haven't seen this, but someone sent me this. You guys remember? You remember when Liz Collins was on the air? She wrote the book, "The Fall of Minneapolis," the movie. She produced the movie and the book. This is from, she's a reporter here at Alpha News. Here we go.
Through how Tim Walz played a huge role in the George Floyd case.
Many medical professionals describing George Floyd as a ticking time bomb. Sadly, a lethal amount of fentanyl and methamphetamine in his system, a bad heart. Tim Walz is the one pushing this racial narrative from the very beginning.
Tragic and senseless murder of George Floyd.
He then calls on Minnesota school students.
He had 3 times the lethal dose of fentanyl, meaning if the police would have found George Floyd in his home with the amount of fentanyl he had in his bloodstream, it would have been considered a suicide or an overdose death. Don't ever forget that.
In issuing a proclamation to take a 9-minute pause in their day to think of George Floyd.
As the governor, he fucking told high school kids to take a 9-minute knee in order to admire this guy who was counterfeiting money, high on fentanyl, high on meth, drunk, couldn't listen to the cops, had put a gun to a woman's stomach, was a pornographer, just all these crazy fucking things. Dear black kids, I'm a fat white guy and I'm going to tell you who you should look up to. Not because they're a great man, but because they had an altercation with the cops. Fuck, we live with fucking idiots.
And just pushing so hard on this narrative that the facts did not back up from the very beginning. There were prosecutors asking off the case, saying, the facts aren't here. We don't want to charge these other officers.
There were 3 prosecutors who were asked to prosecute it who said, fuck no, there's nothing here.
Yet this is when Walz sort of swoops in and gives the case then to the Attorney General, Keith Ellison. You better charge these guys kind of or else. And I really am hopeful that the country can connect the dots now, more than 4 years later and ask if this is really what you want.
Walk us through how
God, Walz is such a fucking douche. What a fucking horrible human. It bums me out that there's ones like that out there. All right. Okay, so we learned about the Wuhan press today. We learned that Justin Kotler is taking all of the underdog athletes to Grid League, where they will be paramount, right? They'll be the most important things. We learned about the need for me to have, thank you. I appreciate the help. We learned about the need for me to invite the Buttery Bros on. And who knows if they'll even come on. They're smarter than the idiots who don't come on, though. I bet you they come on. I don't know. They don't. I mean, remember, they pulled down that Instagram clip. They don't really, for some reason, they don't want to do any, for some reason, I think they're afraid to offend people. Like, I wonder if everyone thought Heber was ugly if he would cover his face. They really don't want to offend people. So I don't know. And just coming on this show could probably, some people could perceive as offensive. We learned that on Glinton things, you can hear conversations, real conversations. Like real. Like you can hear the debate between 2 lesbians who are raising a son and a man who lives in his car talk about the need for having a man in their life. And in that same conversation, you could learn why they don't like dick. What else did we learn? We learned that this is kind of the hub of all good things PFAA. If you that after you swim in a lake, you should wash your mouth out with Listerine. We learned that Fikowski's a good dude, but some emotional tardation got interfered with his good dudeness. What else did we learn? By the way, we learned that Hiller and I are going to do a show going through the comments, right? Where is that? Let me see. Buttery Bros. Click on it. Okay, go to Lazar Jukic. Oh, I'm actually at the hour and 6-minute mark of the show. Wow, 500 comments. So Hiller and I are going to go. Great job, guys. Thanks for this. All AdSense will be donated to GoFundMe for Lazarus family. Are you guys going to write off the donations on your tax return? There is a reason Hiller turned off monetization from his tribute video, because for all his flaws, he realized that receiving any monetary compensation, even if then donated, that it is earned primarily due to a person's death, it's just really a bad look. What the fuck? Listen. When the behind this, just because that, guys, when the behind the scenes comes out this year, I'm going to take all the Lazar footage and I'm going to put it behind a paywall and I'm going to charge 10x for it. And I'm going to keep all the money. Tell me what the fuck to do with my fucking video. I fucking flew away for on my own dime out there for a fucking week. How fucking dare you earn primarily off someone's death? Buttery Bros haven't earned a dime off of someone's death. They earned a dime off of their fucking hard work that they've been doing 20 years. You fucking retard. Who the fuck is this guy? Fucking moron. European for sure.
Is that what you expected?
Sorry, you didn't deserve that, but fuck. The time and energy and passion, care and love and respect that you guys put into this is what we expect from Buttery Bros. Yeah, that was good. Castro using the word incident in his message is so infuriating. Tell me you talk to your lawyers without telling me. How much do those lawyers cost? Money should have spent on real... Shut the fuck up. Castro should be prosecuted. Eat a dick. Rich Edwards. How about fuck you? Like, how the fuck would that help anything? Hey, these are the same fucking morons. This is the defund the police shit.
Is that what you expected?
We're going to defund the police because they're bad for fucking black people. They defund the police and fucking black on black murder fucking doubles in a year. You fucking moron. But you got your way. So many opportunities for safeguards, so many failures. Maybe I shouldn't do this show. This show will get me fucking my... The most shameful championships I've ever seen. CrossFit. God, you're a faggot too. You piece of shit. Rest in peace, Lazar. Okay. Beautiful video, great memory. Yeah, I'm not doing this show. I'm gonna fucking I'll turn into a ball of fucking hate. Beautifully done, thank you. Oh my gosh, just heartbroken for Lazar and his family and friends. All right. This is pretty good. The comments are great. I'm impressed. Yeah, this is cool. Thank you for making this. This turned out good. I'm surprised there wasn't more fatalities. Well, you're a fucking retard. Emily Rolfe had a fucking clot at the games that could have fucking killed her if it wasn't for the fucking the head doctor running out there and fucking sending her to the hospital right away. Has one person even mentioned that? Emily Rolfe had a fucking clot on her arm. They couldn't find a fucking pulse. And the fucking doctor was that was there. I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name or not. But he fucking runs out there, fucking grabs this fucking chick, gets her to the hospital, and saves her fucking life. If that would have happened when she was at the drive-thru at McDonald's, she might have fucking died. That's a pretty solid comeback, but you're an asshole. Thank God Dave was not there. She would have been dead. He was there. You're a dick. That's a great comeback, though. When you don't hold your hatred back, you are truly free. I just don't want to be mean to fucking people. Clive McLaughlin, Roman should not have been allowed to finish the games with his foot if you follow the current athlete care mindset. Yeah, neither should have Ricky. All sorts of people. Sevog Vartanian, sure you do. No, I don't. I really don't. Especially in the bigger scheme of things, it's like, to be frank, like, if I like, just think of all, like, if I, like, you know what I would trade. Here's the thing. Here's what I would trade. You guys can have Dave if you all admit that you voted for a fucking pedophile, woman-hating, genocidal maniac for your fucking president, Justin Trudeau. I'll trade you Dave if all of you come out and say that and support that. That's all I want. I make the demands here. Brent and Pat, I want you to admit that you voted for a fucking guy that supports genital mutilation of children and forced the vaccine that killed shitloads of your fucking countrymen worldwide and that fucking hates women. That I will trade you Dave. Fuck Dave if you give me that. I'll give you everything if you do that. If you actually fucking grow a set of fucking balls and use your platform for something like that. How about that? I mean, that's what I really care about. Like, I don't really care. Like, the rest, this is just a party. I care as much as you guys do. This is just fun. Just a drama. You know what I mean? Playing in the background. Froze bank accounts of the fucking farmers. How many of you fucking said shit on your platforms about that? You guys are fucking bitches in the big picture. I mean, relative to me. Your only real value as athletes is taking your platforms and speaking about things that matter, like Rich has started to do. The rest of you, cunts. Relative to me. I mean, I still like you guys, but I'm just saying relative to me. Now, some of you are just ignoramuses and you don't know, and that doesn't mean you make you a cunt. I was a fucking ignoramus at 25 too. Fuck, you know? But, I mean, that's the real truth. I mean, look at what Rolando did. He fucking knocked that drink off the counter. Oh, but Sevi, he's rich and has all the power. We can't do that. Dave will punish us if we said we don't drink that Jocko Fuel shit. Uh-huh, right. Let me tell you, the truth behind that is pussies. Sell out pussies. Drink your ultra processed Fit Aid now, 40% off. I'm a sucker for anything that says creatine on it. All right. Love you guys. I'm going to do a show later today with Avi. He'll tell you about his tennis match. The best part is that he talks about how this kid had a meltdown, which is so awesome. I'll ask him about his intensity, his commitment, all that shit. I didn't drink as many Jocko juices this year as I did last year, but I probably drank 10 this year. Last year I drank like 30. My access was atrocious this year. I'll do a little nod to Laura though. She was fucking great. Their media director over there, Kitten, was fucking good to me. Except people say the craziest shit to me. You wouldn't believe the crazy shit people say to me. Anyway, that's another show. Anyway, they were great. Anyway. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.